United States, where a very distinguished professor Scott Leckman is there. He is extremely capable to give this question, because this question has a NATO relevance. We usually see that NATO has a president, NATO has a spokesperson, but United States presidents always talk for NATO, or Vice President Evans talk, or US Secretary Marco Rubio talks. But this time, and it is the first time, we have seen that the UK Foreign Secretary has responded on behalf of NATO that there will be consequences if Russia violates the airspace of the NATO member countries. Already 3 incidents took place, one in Poland, one in Estonia, and probably another one is another country, Finland, but Finland did not respond. My question to Scott Leckman, sir, would you mind to tell us why suddenly UK Foreign Secretary is responding on behalf of NATO? Is this because United States President is recently ignoring the NATO interests, sir?
Well, Russia is acting like a teenager, trying to figure out what it can get away with. And so it is flying drones over NATO territory to see how NATO's going to respond. And again, the President Trump has resisted up to this time on putting any further sanctions on Russia. The European Union is interested, at least the leadership is, and so I think that's all in order.
Trump and US politics. Trump has said something became very controversial among the US citizens. He said, Trump calling Charlie Kirk a martyr has stirred controversy. Is this rhetoric fueling polarization? I want to put this question to Scott Leckman, because the incident of killing Charlie took place in your city, in your states, and you know the information. Why Trump has said something like that? Is this rhetoric fueling polarization, sir?
Well, at the memorial service for Charlie Kirk, normally after a national tragedy, presidents try to bring the country together. And you know, for example, Bill Clinton, his speech after the Oklahoma City bombing, and Barack Obama, his speech at a African-American church in South Carolina after several congregants were massacred. And he sang Amazing Grace. I mean, these are things that normal presidents do in the face of a national tragedy. President Trump plowed new ground the other day, and he seems to have no interest in being the president for all Americans, and he owns in on his 40%, and they love it.
My question would be to Mr. Scott Leckman, very gentleman, very knowledgeable person. Sir, I want to ask you a question about the United Nations General Assembly this time. Most of the world leaders already has reached in New York to attain the UNGA General Assembly this time, but agendas are almost fixed. We see the big fishes are absent there. Chinese President Xi Jinping is not going. Russian President Vladimir Putin is not going. South African President Jacob Zuma is not going. Saudi Prince is not going. And also Turkey President Recep Tayyip Erdogan,
he was there.
he already reached. Polarization is not clear to the analyst. Strategists are saying that there will be something happening this time which world leaders even cannot imagine. What is your imagination? What you suspect at this time the outcome of United Nations General Assembly on the agendas, sir?
Well, today it was all about Palestine. And I suspect that's going to continue. There's 193 member states in the United Nations. 165 of them recognize Israel. And by the end of the week, there'll be at least 160 that recognize Palestine. So this is symbolic, but it's very meaningful because, you know, as Netanyahu in a speech to his nation recently told his people that you should get ready for isolation, that we have to become a super Sparta. And so I think Israel has just gone way too far, and they, you know, have lost favor with the entire world, with the exception of the United States. And they're losing support in the U.S. also. You know, among Democrats, they've lost Democrats. And except for Republican older folks who will, you know, stick with Israel, you know, the younger Republicans are saying, you know, Netanyahu's no friend of the U.S. So I just, you know, at the same time, Netanyahu, I think he realizes that Trump's the last president that he's going to have his way with, and that he needs to go from the river to the sea while Trump is president. And I see, you know, they're making Gaza uninhabitable, and next thing would be annexing the West Bank. And so I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I don't think Netanyahu has been a friend to Israel.
All right, sir.
The other thing that's going to happen, yeah.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
The other thing I'd like to mention is at the end of this week, there's going to be a special session on the Rohingya. And I think the chief advisor needs to be congratulated. He invited the Secretary General to visit the refugee camps there in Bangladesh. And I think he's been able to shift this from a Bangladeshi problem to a global problem. So I look forward to the world coming together to help resolve this situation.
Do you consider Donald Trump as a boss, or as a leader, or as a businessman, or as a president of United States of America? First, Scott Leckman.
What do I consider Donald Trump to be? Is that the question? I think he's a con man. I think he has his entire life. Uh, he's gone bankrupt 6 times. Um, he's a master of PR. Um, he inherited a lot of money, and uh, he has made a lot of money, especially as president. The amount of corruption that's happened during this, uh, 9 months, is unprecedented in my lifetime. People compare it to maybe Harding, in the 1920s. But people, there are a lot of people who are very devoted to him, and they like the fact that he appears to be tough. Um, he has this tough act, and but thin skin, and he surrounds himself with yes men. And for a cabinet now, we've got amateur hour. He has appointed people whose main attribute is loyalty. They're not being appointed by their wisdom or their experience.